Hello and welcome to another edition of Ambient Talkie, a show where we dive into some weird and wacky equipment and wonderful, call it whatever you want music. I'm Andy from Two Round Robins, and I hope you're ready for the final episode of this season of Ambient Talkies. So, what can I say? We made it to the end of the year. I remember one of my New Year's resolutions last year was to start this talkie series and try out something new than your, run-of-the-mill jam sessions, which I've been primarily uploading. So, being quite a heavy consumer of the YouTube content, I was always interested in trying out this YouTube shtick for myself. And I'm really glad I did. My main goal was to try and document my explorations into this wonderful world of synths, experimental music and whatnot. As well as, inspired by the Lines community, I wanted to give something back to the people that were just joining in. Since developing script wasn't really a pursuit I was comfortable in doing at that time. So I set myself a goal of uploading at least one video per week, and I try to keep this upload schedule as consistent as possible, hopefully bringing you guys some helpful and entertaining content in the process. And to tell you the truth, it really wasn't that easy. Having a full-time job and a lot of projects that occupied my week, trying to keep a consistent weekly upload schedule proved to be quite challenging. So having a short time slot in the week to write, shoot, and edit the videos at times manifested in some not so sufficient results. So let's just say that some stuff could have been done a bit better. But because of the supportive community, I felt encouraged enough to continue making these videos and will continue to make them into the foreseeable future. So yeah, that's a good thing, I think. So needless to say, I learned a lot in how these videos are made, and I feel like I'm getting there when it comes to seeing what style works best for my own videos. I'm still not sure what type of videos would be better, but I feel that this no-face, top-down look at my hands type of presentations are a thing that people in the sync community might vibe with, but I could be totally wrong, so we'll see where that goes. So, what awaits us in the following year of talkies? Here are a couple of quick teasers. I'm trying to learn a bit of live coding that I wish to present on this channel, so if anybody knows title cycles, that might be interesting to see in the future. Also, I do have these things from Syntax Academy, and me being interested in designing my own synths in the future, I thought this could be a good personal challenge as well as something interesting to talk about on the channel. Also, I do hope to make new episodes of In Convo With, and I'm talking to a few people that would be interested in coming on to the show, so be on the lookout for that. And when it comes to new gear on the horizon, one of the first episodes of 2024 will focus on these beautiful instruments by my homeboys here in Slovenia, Hex House. So these are just a few of the things that are coming in the following weeks. So do stay tuned. I'm also absolutely beyond happy at any support you guys show towards this channel, maybe with a comment or a subscription or a like. This really helps the channel grow and gives me motivation to push onwards with the content. So again, thank you very much for that. Some of you also asked me how you can donate to this channel, and you can easily do that by buying my music off of BandCamp. And from now on, you can also join my Patreon, where you can get exclusive content as well as some monthly audio goodies like sample libraries, audio files, and more. So if you want to support the channel, the links to the BandCamp and Patreon is down in the description below. Also, some goodies are already posted to the said Patreon, so do head on there. And also, there's this thing. So yeah, I pulled the trigger and bought a standard Norse, but come on, look at this thing. It's beautiful. Also, you can see now that I will definitely do a comparison between a shield and a standard Norse somewhere in the future episode. So now that I basically have these two in my possession. But for now, let's just open up our Q&A sessions and get down to the Q&A stuff. So let's just dig in. Okay, these are the questions. Michael Barry from Instagram is asking, are you planning on creating more videos in other series, or how are you planning your videos? Do you have a release schedule? Are you going to participate in January? So quite a lot of questions here from Michael. So Michael, let's just start out with planning. Usually I try to do a talkie every other week with jams in between. I think people enjoy the jams, plus it kind of gives me a bit of leg room when it comes to planning out the talkie portions. So yes, I do have a release schedule. As for the other series, like I stated, we'll do more of this in convo with, which can tie into the normal talkie series. Plus, I'm pretty sure I'll have some other ideas for the series in the following year. So, at the end of the day, who knows? As for January, I just think that time-wise it's a bit too distracting, for me at least, and I make music at my own pace, so I really don't see the benefits of following these types of challenges. So at least for my own sake, I think I'm gonna skip January. But anyway, Michael, thank you for your questions. Moving onwards, we have the sound technician off of YouTube asks, I love to see you do a live field recording performance with the Coco, meaning the Coco Quantus. Have you seen the Verdi mics by Owaka Instruments you might like? Okay, thank you, the sound technician. I'll definitely consider doing some field recordings and processing it through the Coco. The only thing there is that I never really saw the point of throwing field recordings into a lo-fi delay, but maybe there is something hidden there that I'm not really aware of as today, so I'll definitely consider that. As for the Verdi mics, I'll have to look into them. Haven't really heard them, so I'll Google it later, I think. So thanks again, sound technician. Moving onwards, we have my friend William T. Hazard from Instagram asking, what's something Norse has taught you about something other than music? What's the helpful thing you learned this year? Well, William, thank you for the question. I think Norse has taught me how to be patient and really take my time with gear that I use. I think Norse in itself isn't really the simplest thing to use, so I had to learn some stuff that I was not familiar with before, and I'm really glad that I did. Also, the onslaught of scripts and the deepness of those really seems like a cool challenge each time that I tackle with a new one. What's the one helpful thing that I learned this year? I think learning a bit about how coding works has proven to be a great way to massage your brain in ways I wasn't really accustomed to. So that really kind of helped me with focusing on other daily tasks, which without a doubt kind of proved to be very, very helpful. So yeah, I think, learning coding a bit really helped me out there. So William, thank you for your question. Moving onwards from Benjamin Ranger from Instagram. I might butcher some of these names, so I'm really sorry about that. But Benjamin asks, basically, would you come to France for some live sessions? The simple answer there, Benjamin, is yes. A more complicated one would be it really depends on the budget time to prepare and similar, but yes, I am very interested in doing something like that. A point I should mention here is also that I still need to plan out how I would have a live session, as I didn't really have any in the past that would be considered, at least in my 2 round robins domain. So yeah, I have to figure that thing out. So this is again a New Year's resolution for myself. Anyway, Benjamin, thank you for asking. And now we have a Snipesue. So I'm guessing this is how you pronounce it, Snipesue, from Instagram. What would you recommend as a good first piece of gear for someone who only uses VSTs? Well, this was me. Some years ago, I was mostly a guy that didn't really see the benefit of owning hardware stuff and using those to create something. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from. And the answer to that is it really depends in what style you're wanting to explore, the Dallas world, and what is your budget actually. But I think you can't really go wrong with let's say a pocket operator by Teenage Engineering, since they are pretty fun, useful, and inexpensive. So if your budget allows and you want a good all-around device that would be fun, I'd actually go with the Organelle. This is the device that I have experienced with. So I mean, the devices that I have mentioned, so Pocket Operator and Organelle, are the devices that I personally had experience with. So these are strictly my own experiences. So take this with a grain of salt when it comes to whatever works for your first gear that's not particularly a VST. I'm sure others might jump into the comments with their cool recommendations. So if you guys want to recommend something to Snipesue here, do so in the comments down below. I think they will greatly appreciate that. So yeah, moving onwards, Baobab Indy, damn it, man, I really hope I'm not butchering these names, asks a whole lot of questions. Do you try to chase an idea in your head, or do you let gear dictate the direction? Do you have a fixed setup? What tool succeeds to spark your creativity the most often? When writing music, how is your process? Okay, a lot of questions here, and I'll try to answer them all deeply. When it comes to more textural ambient stuff, I do stuff that's very much kind of on the first go. So however I feel like at that time, at that moment, I just try to do it. However, owning certain gear will undoubtedly kind of dictate the sound and texture colors the session is gonna get, like how it's gonna sound. So of course it dictates. But I usually just grab whatever I feel like and start messing around, hoping to catch something beautiful, something that would grab my attention and I would find it intriguing enough to pursue it even more. I do have a fixed setup, but that doesn't mean that everything is used at once, obviously. I also like to change these things around, meaning I'll bring some stuff out of the closet and move some stuff into the drawers, if you catch my drift. I'll probably say Norse has kind of sparked the most creativity out of everything I own. As for process in writing music, I say it really depends. But with ambient stuff, I start with one sound, one texture, and I'll try to create a world around that. Oftentimes picking up, ideas as I go along. So it's all very, very freeform. So yeah, thank you for your questions. Moving on, Pixie, my editor from on mail. Hey, you keep ignoring my emails regarding the payment for my last edits. I'm out of... Okay. Anyways, Pilar Grimmer from IG from Instagram asks, could you do a tutorial on how to use alternative grids with Norse, Launchpads, and Touch OS C? All right. I'll definitely look into that, especially now with the option of using polygrid, I believe. So this might be something to consider in the future talkie episodes. So thank you for your question. And asymmetric cut is asking, when will your script be available? Anyway, you rock a lot. Well, thank you very much, asymmetric cut on Instagram. For those that don't know, the script they are referring to here is the MESSIAEN script, which is a bird delay that I'm working on with a lot of help from Sonos Circuit. So shout out to Sonos Circuit for that. Anyways, to answer your question, soon enough. I'm trying to test it out, and you know, when you're testing it out, you see, oh, maybe we can change something there, or maybe I can add a feature there, or I can change it this way so it acts a bit differently, etc, etc. So at least for testing, it's available as of now as a beta version. So if you go to my GitHub, which I will link down in the descriptions below, you can basically try it out, get it on your NORs and try it out, and maybe, you know, give me feedback. I know me and Sonos Circuit would definitely appreciate any way that we can improve this thing and see if it works for whatever we're creating. So yeah, if you want that, it's the thing that I've been working on for the last 6 months when it comes to the coding experience on the side. It's MESSIAEN. It's this wonderful script with a graphic interface design made by my partner Maggie. So yeah, if you want that, you can go to that. So do enjoy. So yeah, there you go. A recap and a teaser for the future of the ambient talkie series. When I first started this series, my goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we doubled that by reaching 2K, so I'm beyond grateful for that. Thank you to all. I do hope all the best for each and every one of you in 2024, and I do hope we'll interact far more into the following year. So have a great rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you might be watching this, and all the best.